Anyway, go ahead. Let's bring in Mary Kay.
Yeah, before we bring in Mary Kay, guys, do you ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery, and now I'm able to budget smarter and save more. Take control with your finances through Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year. Now welcome in Mary Kay.
Mary Kay, how are you? Mary Kay, are you staying on top? Are you staying on top of all the baseball trades?
I am not staying on top of the baseball trades. No, definitely not. It's Hall of Fame week, so I'm a little crazed right now, and definitely not in the baseball world.
All right. Well, the Tigers just got a closer in Kyle Finnegan, which you're not interested in, but I figured I'd share that with our audience. Anyway, yeah, there is a lot going on. It's Hall of Fame week, Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And by the way, is Clay Matthews ever going to get in, or is that ship sailed?
You know what? It's a very good question. If he gets in, he's going to have to get in as a senior. So
Right.
I really don't know the answer to that yet. I really hope that he does get in, and it would be tremendous if he did. But it's really hard because once you get into that senior pool, it's very, very difficult to make it in.
Mary Kay, we saw DeJuan Jones get carted off the field yesterday. It turns out it was just heat exhaustion. Are we looking at anything that should keep him out over the next couple of days, or is that officially something we can put in the past and expect DeJuan Jones back fully healthy?
Yeah, I think you can expect him back. It really, really is a situation where the heat impacted him, and he should be absolutely fine. They've got the day off today. I mean, they are doing some work. They're probably getting treatment and things like that. But just in terms of him, he should be fine by the time we get back out there tomorrow.
It wouldn't be an interview with a Browns beat reporter without asking about the quarterback situation, Mary Kay. And I know yesterday Shedeur and Dillon got their first chances to go up against the first-team defense. Flacco with the ones winning against the second-team defense. Was that more of Kevin Stefanski just shuffling things up in a way that he anticipated doing all week, or was that a result of Dillon and Shedeur looking good in practice and earning some of those reps against the first-team defense?
Well, first of all, Dillon has already had opportunities with and against the first-team offense. So it wasn't his first opportunity to do that. The new thing that happened yesterday was that Shedeur got a chance to go against the first-team defense a little bit, and he did so working with the second-team offense. So it was, just a little nugget about Shedeur yesterday, and I think it's a good sign. I think he got rewarded for working really, really hard and doing a really nice job on everything. And he was able to go out there and go 2 for 3 in that session. He finished it off with 2 completions against some of the best defenders in the NFL. So I just thought that was a really good sign for him.
How are, based on what you've heard, Mary Kay, how is he doing behind the scenes, picking up the offense, and just being a teammate and all those type of things? How's he doing there?
Well, as far as being a teammate, he's doing a tremendous job with that. And I really like his personality. I've really enjoyed what I've seen and heard from him as a person, as a human being. So that's been really, really cool to watch him kind of blossom and grow here. I caught a moment with him just earlier in the week when the quarterbacks were going to be talking to us. And I saw that when Jerome Baker was at podium 2, Shedeur was getting ready to walk out of the field house with 2 members of the PR staff and walk over to podium 1. When everybody saw him going to podium 1, a lot of people started walking away from Jerome Baker. And I saw this was not a PR thing. This was absolutely Shedeur turning to those 2 PR guys, and he said, I'm not going until Jerome is done. And he didn't do it for the cameras. He didn't do it for show. I just so happened to catch it out of the corner of my eye. And I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, I tweeted it right away in real time. And so he got asked about it when he did go up to the podium. And he said, that's respect. I know that I, produce a lot of content and draw a lot of energy and attention. And I wanted Jerome to have his moment. And I just thought that was Really, really cool. So behind the scenes,
Cool.
as a human being, he's doing a phenomenal job that way. And then he's working really hard. He's got a tremendous work ethic, and he's working really hard to pick up the things that he needs to, and that's all the pre-snap stuff. He's got to figure out how to call the play in the huddle, how to work on the protections and the motions and all of those things that happen pre-snap. Post-snap, he's doing great. I mean, he's got a really nice ball. He's got a really nice arm. He puts nice touch on it. He's very, very accurate, and I think he's earning more reps. I think they have to be really, really happy with what they're seeing with him.
Mary Kay, how severe is Kenny Pickett's hamstring, and when do you think he'll be back?
It's a good question. I will probably know more about that either later today or tomorrow. They're going to reevaluate him today, so he's probably having whatever tests they will do for that. And if he can get back maybe by next week, perhaps he can still stay very, very relevant in the competition for the week 1 start. If he doesn't get back for next week for that practice on Monday, the first one in block 3, and also the joint practice in Carolina, then I think it's going to start to get really difficult for him to be ready for that week 1 start. He's missing a lot of time right now, and really important time. These are 3 days in pads that they're doing here in block 2. And then again, we know how important the joint practice is with the Carolina Panthers. And then they also have the game, which I don't think Joe and Kenny were probably going to play in that game anyway. I think they're looking at them more so for the practice. If he can't get back by then, I think it's going to start to get tough.
I know we're a little premature prior to that first preseason game, but is it going to be the young guys, do you think, in that at quarterback in that first preseason game? Will we see the vets at all this preseason, or how much leash do you think the rookies are going to have in those games?
I think they're still working through that right now, but I do think that they're probably leaning towards, or at least they were leaning towards, resting Joe and Kenny in the game and letting the rookies just have at it, especially after a very difficult practice that the veterans will have on Wednesday it is. So I do think that there is a lot of sentiment towards letting those rookies play probably these first 2 preseason games and then using the 3rd preseason game as a dress rehearsal. But this team is ready to pivot, and they have to be, because the Kenny Pickett injury threw a monkey wrench into the whole plan. They were going to do certain things in block 2, and we don't even know what those things were going to be. We were looking forward to showing up on Monday and seeing how the reps were going to shake out. Were they going to give a whole bunch more to Joe and Kenny and let the rookies start to take a back seat? Were they going to ramp them up? We don't know what their strategy was going to be. All we know now is that Joe is firmly in the driver's seat as the QB1 right now, and that Dillon moved up and got some first-team reps, and then Shedeur moved up into the QB3 spot and also got some work against the first-team D.
Mary Kay went out to practice on Tuesday, and admittedly, all eyes were on the quarterbacks. That's what we all want to see. But the Browns' first 2 picks were on defensive players this year, Mason Graham and Carson Schwechsinger. What's been the buzz about those 2 from the early reporting in camp?
Well, I'll tell you what, Carson Schwechsinger is showing up. He's making plays, he's making hits, and he's done a tremendous job so far. And it seems like they really nailed it with him, especially when the pads have come on. He's just out there. He's making tackles and making a lot of noise. And it's really incredible to watch these guys tackling to the ground. I didn't know that we were really going to see that. I knew they were going to have a tougher camp. I knew that it was going to be more intense and faster paced. But he really didn't necessarily prepare us for the tackling to the ground that started yesterday. It's cool to see. Haven't really had it since Hugh Jackson had those siren periods where they made a huge deal about it. They're blaring sirens, and all of a sudden, you know, the tackling is going to be live. This kind of flew under the radar. All the guys seem to really love it. And again, Carson is really showing up. And same thing with Mason. He's really coming along on the inside there and getting that push up the middle that they want from him.
Mary Kay, let's wrap things up with the big award, the big honor. We talked about the Hall of Fame. You have won the Bill Nunn Award, being honored, only the second woman to ever win this award. Congratulations. I'm so sorry I couldn't be. You had was it a dinner or I can't remember. Was it
Reception.
a reception?
Yeah. A party.
And thank you for inviting me. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. I know Jason got wasted there. He was out of control.
Hammered.
But congratulations. It's quite an honor. And just tell us your thoughts as you get ready to go to get this honor award.
Well, it's a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
I've been covering so much of Brown's training camp and
Yeah.
the quarterback competition that I really didn't have a lot of time to sit down and work on my speech. But I have to give a speech tomorrow night in front of all the Gold Jacket Hall of Famers
Oh, wow.
at the Gold Jacket dinner. So it's a little daunting, a little overwhelming. And once again, it's not like I have been crafting the speech for weeks and weeks. I sat out on my sun porch last night, really
Yeah.
jotting down my thoughts and my notes. But I think a couple of the things that really come to mind about this, as you mentioned, I'm only the second woman to win this award. So I'm pretty proud about that whole thing. And I really feel like I blazed a trail for women in this industry. And I didn't want to just show up and do the job. I wanted to really make my mark, really make an impact, and try to play big in this industry. And I feel like I've done that because I wanted other women to be able to come in here and say, if she could do it, we can do it too. So I think I was able to establish that. That's one of the things that I'm most proud of.
And you certainly have, and it's well deserved. We're all very happy for you, especially those who have known you for a while. And it's hard. I mean, as a woman in this business, I don't want to speak for you, obviously, but I just know there's a lot of guys who don't want to hear a woman talk about sports, who will automatically assume you don't know your stuff if you're a woman, and to have to overcome that, something that men don't have to do in this business, that alone makes it so hard. And for you to overcome that nonsense and have to deal with all the crappy things that people have probably said over the years.
Not to mention the locker room treatment.
Oh, exactly.
From where it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago to now.
Yeah. So kudos to you for all you've done, all you've accomplished, and all you've had to deal with along the way.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. And yes, it does add a whole other layer to your job when you're getting called names all the time and when you're having social media attack you and all the things that go on this job. But like I said, I wanted to stay in the game because if I could stay in the game, then other women could come into the game and walk through the door and do their job as well. So I was able to do it. I've had a lot of support. My husband is absolutely tremendous and amazing. I could not have done it without him. All of the names that I've been called, all the threats, anything that's ever happened, I come home and he's right there for me, supporting me and helping me get through this and helping me, obviously, with the 3 kids that I raised while I was doing this crazy job. So it's been quite a run, quite a ride, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend.
Mary Kay, we'll let you out of here on this, and once again, congratulations. But you have become an inspiration for the next generation. I'm just curious, as you were explaining your last answer, who was your inspiration to get into the business?
Well, there really weren't very many women doing this before I got into the business. So I didn't really think that it was even possible. And it just is something that kind of happened. Now, once I did arrive on the scene and start covering the Browns, I saw that Marla Ridenour, my very, very dear friend who has walked this Hall of Fame journey with me, was already there doing some Browns coverage for Dayton Daily News and Columbus Dispatch. And so she already helped blaze the trail, and that was tremendous. And, we've just remained very close throughout all of these years, and I'm so grateful to have her. But there were not very many women in this industry, and now, like I said, I'm happy to be able to provide that for anyone who's come after me.
That's just awesome. All the best, Mary Kay. Congratulations. We're all very excited. Did you ask Joe Thomas? Did you talk to Joe to see if he could give you any advice?
No, I did not talk to Joe, but I'm looking forward to seeing him tomorrow night. I think he's going to be there. I hope he's going to be there at the Gold Jacket dinner. And, I can't wait to see him. I thought it might be kind of cool to go in the same year that he did. But this is actually way better because I was very focused on Joe that year. And I had to write all those stories and features and things like that. So this kind of worked out better.
Do you know what they serve at the Hall of Fame Gold Jacket dinner?
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked Bull didn't ask the question, but
That's a good point.
No offense,
I don't know
Bull.
why I didn't. Do you know what the dinner is?
You know what? My daughters, funny you should ask, were just asking me that. What do they serve? Because they are here from out of town, and they're going to be at the dinner with me, and as well as my son, my husband, and some other people. And they were like, "What is at the Gold Jacket dinner?" And I had to say, I have no idea. There are a lot of details about this weekend that I just don't know. And part of the reason for that is because, once again, I'm very preoccupied with doing my day job and making sure that I'm getting the Browns covered. And so I haven't really had too much time to think about this, but hopefully by tomorrow I will get my gold jacket dinner game face on.
You know,
sure it'll be delicious.
Correct me. One of your daughters is an acrobat in the circus. Is that right? An acrobat?
Yes. A professional, yes. One of my daughters is a professional acrobat in, Cirque du Soleil type performances where,
And
it's a lot of artistry.
But hang on. And the other one is a
Stand-up comedian?
yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know
That's
that.
awesome. I got to meet her the other night at the reception.
Does
I
she
met her husband
is she like traveling the country all the time?
No, she's brand new,
Oh.
but she is doing stand-up comedy in New York City. So, that's a tough crowd there, but she's already been working at it. She goes to classes at Second City and things like that. So she's very,
Awesome.
very new at it. She also has a marketing job up there, and she's dabbling in the stand-up comedy, but she's doing pretty well so far.
Well,
That's pretty awesome.
good for you. I mean, to have two kids doing such unusual jobs, like you have to have supportive parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
To go into a field that's like hard to succeed in. I feel like your daughter so maybe you do a whole thing where like one of your daughters does a roast of you, maybe your other daughter is like doing
Juggling
flips
you.
and I don't know, get the whole family involved, Mary Kay. We'll see.
Yeah, they could put on quite a show, I would
Yeah.
think. So yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I told them to follow their hearts, and they
Good for
really
you.
took me literally on that. So
Yeah.
so they're having a good time. And I have a son too, and he's an accountant, but he
Yeah.
is also a future member of the senior golf tour at the rate he's going. So
wow.
he'll have his moments.
All right. Very accomplished. That's awesome. So happy for you, Mary Kay. All the best.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
Take care.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congrats.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much.